Welcome to Operation Side Hustle with Piers. My name's Piers and the goal of this channel is to grow £25 into £25,000. Coming off the back of two pretty slow weeks. It's Monday today and I've actually started the week off with a bit of a bang. I say a bit of a bang, but I've made two sales. So the first sale that I made, if you saw in the last video, and I'll put a picture on the screen, I actually did a trade-in or a part exchange for a scooter where I gave the guy £50 off, he gave me the scooter, and then he took a new one away with him. So the scooter that he gave me though was not working, so there was a bit of an issue with that one. I've actually managed to sell it to a contact that I've got for £50, so I've not lost any money, I've not made any money. What I have done is I've taken the batteries out of the scooter, so I've sold it without batteries for £50. Those batteries, they're probably worth about 40 or 50 quid. But what it does is it gives me the flexibility in the future to potentially pick up a cheap scooter that has no batteries, and then I can put those batteries into the scooter. So that is a win on my part. It kind of just lets me realise the cash that I gave to him beforehand. It didn't cost me anything. I didn't have to give him 50 quid. I just took 50 quid off the price. So that's a real positive. And then in more positive news, I've got someone coming to look at this purple scooter, which I've had for probably about 2 weeks now. So I'm hoping that I can get that sold. You would have seen in the past couple of videos, been having some real problems with Facebook Marketplace getting the scooters listed. That is still ongoing. I'm currently unable to get the two scooters that I picked up the other day, the blue one and then the Go-Go scooter, which is actually at the back there. Not been able to get those listed yet because I keep getting banned. So struggling through, but hopefully if the rest of the week goes like this Monday's gone, hopefully we're going to have a more positive week, get back to doing sort of at least 3 or 4 sales, more like 4 sales a week. And more importantly, and perhaps more positive news, I've got someone, well, I'm delivering this sofa on Wednesday now. So I was originally delivering it tomorrow, Tuesday, but he's asked me to move it back by a day. So I'm going to drop that off on Tuesday, and we're selling that for £175 plus £15 worth of delivery. Good start to Monday. Let's do it. Good evening. Right, it's still Monday. I've just sold the scooter. Had a gentleman, and I'm guessing his wife, partner, come and look for their mother-in-law, and I was showing them the purple ShopRider scooter that I've got on for £230, and I paid £130 for it. And I kind of made the mistake that I kind of didn't want to make, that I tried to avoid, in that they came to look at that purple one and I got it out and I had it at the top of my drive, so I don't take them into the office, so I don't want to see the other scooters. But the guy said to me, I noticed that you've got some other ones, can I have a look at the other ones you've got? And he looked at the other ones and he ended up buying the fake Go-Go. So he bought that for £250, I paid £150 for it, so it's £100 worth of profit. I was hoping to get rid of that ShopRider scooter just because it's an older model. I actually ended up putting the batteries that I was just showing you in the last clip into that ShopRider because it was really slow. So I just wanted to check to see if the batteries were duds, but put the new batteries in it and it's exactly the same. So the scooter is just a little bit slow. It's going to be an issue trying to sell that one, I think. It's going to probably have to be one that I end up delivering. I was up front with the guy before he came. I told him that it was older. I actually even offered it to him for £200, trying to get him to take it, but he didn't want to. So still made a sale, which is absolutely great. But yeah, just got that bit of stock that's probably a little bit of a slower mover, which is present in the fact that I've had it now for nearly 2 weeks. So yeah, good start to the week. Right, I'm going to try and give you guys a quick tutorial on how to replace the batteries in the mobility scooters because they're super simple. I've got the new or old-ish replacement batteries. These are a 12 volt 15 amps, so they're slightly larger. Most will be 12 volt 12 amps. The voltage is the main kind of factor really. You can get much smaller batteries that are still 12 volts. You can get 12 volt 9 amps, which tend to be a little bit cheaper. So if you are reselling and you're on a budget and you're looking for batteries, you can buy the cheaper ones. They tend to be about £30. The 12 volt 12 amp ones tend to be about 40, and then these 15 amp tend to be more like 60 quid. So super simple. Turn the scooter box upside down, and then you can see around the edge here there are maybe 10 or 15 screws. You just need to undo those, and then we'll get to the next step. One thing to note is you might need a kind of extended screwdriver. This box has not got it, but a lot of the boxes, the screws are actually recessed down. So you just need a kind of a long, thin, whatever they're called, head to get the screws out. Right, I'm gonna get these out and then I'll show you the next steps. Right, so next step, once you've got all of your screws out, you essentially pull the lid off and you'll be looking at something like this. So mobility scooters typically have two 12 volt 12 amp batteries, or 12 volt 15 amp. Typically you might see some with slightly larger, they'll have a slightly different look and feel. So here is an example of what I'm thinking of, probably 22 amp. No, they're actually only 17, but sometimes they'll be in this kind of style, so they're a slightly larger style. But the vast majority of scooters will have the style like this. And it is simply the case of unplugging the little connectors. And if you look at these connectors, they're just like a little kind of slide on. So when you look at the battery, you've got the two ports here at the end, black and red, and you simply replicate what is already installed. So typically one wire will be red or an orange color, and then the other wire is typically black. In this instance, you've got one black and bizarrely one orange. What I would suggest to you is, if you're not sure about this, is once you open up the box, take a photo of it as it is, and then you can just replicate it. You'll also often see on the actual box, it'll also tell you how to wire it up. But it's super simple. You can simply pull one out, and then you put the new battery in. Some of them will be Velcroed at the bottom, and you simply line the ports up. Trying to do it one-handed, sorry, bear with me. And then they just connect in. So do that on both sides. The one thing with these mobility scooters, you never ever want to just replace one of the two batteries. Typically, when you're replacing them, I would always suggest that you replace both batteries. Very rarely will you find that one has gone and the other hasn't. So in this instance, I'm going to replace both, and then I'll touch base with you again. Same process on this right hand side now. Going to unplug both of these, and then I'll plug my new battery in. Right, that's now both of the batteries put in, and I've taken the old batteries out, or the batteries that I actually took from the scooter that wasn't working, that I know are good quality batteries. So I want to keep these ones. These ones actually are also brand new as well. So just putting the original batteries back in, I just wanted to see whether the scooter, which is the purple one over there, if it worked any better, if these batteries maybe were dead. But I put these ones in and it was exactly the same process, and I've subsequently amp tested those batteries, so they're all working fine. Now it's simply a case of just kind of tucking those wires in, so you might have to tuck some of the wires away a little bit, putting it back on, and then putting the screws back in. And that is your mobility scooter batteries changed. For anyone that is not looking to do this as a side hustle and they're just looking at how you actually change a mobility scooter battery, that is all that a shop will be doing. They will charge anything from £100 to £150 to change the battery. The batteries themselves cost anywhere from about £40 for a 12 volt 12 amp battery. If you've got a screwdriver, you can do it by yourself. You do not need to pay anyone to get that done. It is quite literally a 2-minute process. The longest part about doing this is unscrewing the screws. Easy, simple. Right, it's early evening and I'm kicking off this Tuesday evening with a quick sale. So got a gentleman coming to look at this GoGo Elite scooter. Hopefully he'll take it away with him. Yeah, need to get it unloaded, get it down the drive, and then yeah, he's due to turn up at about 6:30. So yeah, let's get to it. Quick update. Just had the gentleman come and look at the GoGo scooter, and he hasn't taken it, obviously. He said he's got another one to go and look at, but in my experience, if people walk away from a purchase, they don't typically come back, especially not on the Facebook Marketplace world. I have also just done a little bit of dissecting, so I've nicked the arms off of this purple scooter and I've stuck it onto that blue scooter because I've got someone that is potentially interested in the blue one, but they only wanted it if it had arms. So I've nicked that. Next step now, it's a bit later in the evening, I'm going to go and pick up a scooter this evening, paying $130 for it. So yeah, we'll touch base when I'm on my way to go pick that up. Wowzers, what what an evening that's been. I went to go and pick up the mobility scooter, and I'll be frank with you guys, I will pick up a mobility scooter from pretty much anywhere, like high-rise tower, wherever you want to go and pick the scooters up, as long as it's within a reasonable distance. I'm not fussed, got no issues going wherever it needs to be. Very rarely, if ever, I think maybe twice in total, in all the time I've been reselling, have I ever felt in danger, like not happy to be in a location. The place that I went to today in central Birmingham was a scary place. I ended up not taking the scooter. It wasn't very good condition. It was very, very sketchy, and I left, and then I dealt with some people, but managed to work my way out of it. So was just overly polite, said hello, shook their hands, and then was done with it. But yeah, not picked up the scooter. I have lined up a collection tomorrow, so I'm going to be collecting one tomorrow morning. And then I think I've said to you guys at the very first or yesterday, I actually dropped off a scooter that I got in for a part exchange. I delivered it to a guy that I sell some broken scooters to. He's managed to fix it, and he's now selling it back to me, so I'm going to buy that from him as well for £130. Yeah, an interesting evening for sure. Pick up, well, I've got two pickups tomorrow, one in the morning, one in the evening, and then I'm also dropping off the sofa tomorrow, the big L shape with the footstool. So I'm delivering that for $175 plus 15 in delivery, so $190 in total. It's about 10 minutes down the road, but yeah, not a bad start, not a bad start to the week. It's kind of Tuesday evening now. I wish I'd made that sale earlier, but maybe got one or two more lined up, plus the sofa, which is a bonus. So yeah, let's get to it. Good morning. Wow, it is super bright and early. It's just gone 6 a.m. Kicking this morning off with a really busy start. Got two scooters to pick up. Picking up a GoGo Elite and a Drive ST1 scooter. So the GoGo is just from a random person, and the Drive is from my contact. And then this evening I'm dropping off a mobility scooter and I'm dropping off a sofa. Throw in the fact that I've got work as well, and then I'm off out to the pub to go and watch the football. So busy day ahead, really busy day ahead, but really positive. So let's get to it. Let's go and get these scooters picked up and then head to work. Good evening. I have been quite literally the worst YouTuber. I've been so busy today. I'm gonna have to give you guys an update without actually showing you or doing it at all. So this morning I picked up two mobility scooters and I've dropped those off at my house. I've then had my day at work and I've just delivered the purple mobility scooter for £200. I paid $130 for that, so I didn't make a huge profit, £70, but that's pretty good. And then if you guys can see, I've got the trailer hooked up at the back of the car. I've just delivered the L-shaped sofa with the footstool, and I don't know if you guys can see on my arm, but I managed to catch myself as I was delivering it, and I'm now bleeding everywhere. So fun update. I've got another scooter delivery happening tomorrow morning. I'm dropping that one off at 8 a.m. in West Brom, which is a fair trek for me. So I'm doing that for $230 plus £20 of delivery. I don't really know how to work out delivery costs. I always do 0.25 times the amount of miles, and then I double it because obviously I've got to go there and back. So it was like £19 or something, I don't know. So I ended up rounding it up to 20. So $230 plus 20, so $250, but called it $230. And then I've actually got another drop off lined up for the Friday as well. So it's actually turning out to be a really good week. Just like that, we've had a thoroughly disappointing Friday. So had the collection or the drop off this morning that cancelled. Just had the gentleman come and look at basically all the stock that I've got with his wife, and his wife just could not get the hang of like pressing the accelerator. She was just juddering like backwards and forwards. and so decided not to go ahead, which is a bugger. My close rates are normally pretty high. I would say probably 9 out of 10. I would say once they're here, I can close in some way, shape or form, but there was no way. She just couldn't use it. She was trying to complain about the scooters. It's nothing to do with the scooters. It was purely user error, but yeah, a little bit disappointing. 2 sales kind of falling out of the sky that won't go ahead, but you know what? We'll sell again. It's still only Friday. Hopefully we'll pick up a couple of sales over the weekend. I am playing cricket again. It's cricket season started last night with a little T20. It was actually a T16. And I'll be playing all day tomorrow, so I won't be able to make any sales tomorrow, but hopefully pick something up Sunday, then move into the new week. But yeah, bugger. Hello everyone, happy Sunday. Hope everyone's having a good bank holiday weekend. I have just had an amazing encounter. I just had a gentleman come to look at the Go-Go scooter, and he ended up taking both the Go-Go and the Pride Apex. So it took £500 for the 2 of those. So now I've only got the 1 item in stock, and I still haven't got the batteries in there. So very much need to build on my stock. It is Bank Holiday Monday tomorrow, so I'm hoping that I'm gonna be able to pick up some scooters. Kind of had a couple of days with the family, not really been working on the business, but that's a great end to the weekend. So I think that'll probably be about 6 sales for the week. I'll have to do a little bit of a count later, but yeah, just sold those 2 mobility scooters for £500. So that's a very nice end to the week. Good evening, time to do a quick wrap up. It's been a really, really busy week. It's actually been a really, really good week for me. We've come off the back of 2 pretty slow weeks, but as you can see, pretty much no stock in the office at the moment. Ended up making £620 worth of profit this week. I've got a busy day lined up tomorrow. It's Bank Holiday Monday, so tomorrow I'm picking up 1 sofa and 2 mobility scooters to try and get my stock levels back up, and then I'll try and pick up another scooter throughout the week, trying to keep 4 in stock at all times. But as you can see, at the moment, only got the 1 scooter in stock and the 1 sofa. I'm having very little luck with this sofa. So gonna maybe have to try and do something a little bit different next week to try and get that one sold. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you haven't done, please hit that subscribe button. There's new videos every single week on a Monday at 7 PM. Look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye bye.